All right, today we're diving into one of your body's biggest unsung heroes. It's this silent, 24/7 purification plant that works nonstop to keep you healthy. Yep, we're talking all about the urinary system.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? Every single day, your body is making waste products just by, living and breathing. If that stuff wasn't cleared out, it would build up and become pretty toxic pretty fast. So how in the world does your body handle this constant cleanup job?
Well, the answer is this amazing, incredible network, the urinary system. It's really the hero of our story today, and it doesn't just take out the trash. Oh no, it meticulously maintains your body's perfect internal balance, a state we call homeostasis. So let's jump in and see exactly how it pulls this off.
Okay, so to really understand how this all works, we first need to meet the team. There are 4 main players in this system, and each one has a super specific and absolutely vital job to do.
First up, you've got the stars of the show, the kidneys. These two bean-shaped organs are the master filters, and trust me, they are absolute powerhouses. Get this, combined, they filter around 180 liters of blood every single day. They are the central command, the place where blood gets cleaned and all the waste gets separated out.
So once the kidneys have worked their magic, that waste fluid, which we now call urine, needs a way to get out. That's where the ureters come in. You can think of them as the conveyor belts moving the waste away from the main factory floor.
From the ureters, the urine flows down into the bladder. Now this thing is remarkable. It's an expandable, muscular sac that's basically a temporary holding tank. Its ability to stretch is the whole reason we can control when we, go to the bathroom. And last but not least, we have the urethra. This is the final stop, the exit tube that carries urine from the bladder all the way out of the body. So there's your team: kidneys, ureters, bladder, and urethra.
Simple enough, right?
But now, let's zoom way in on the kidneys, because this is where the real magic happens. We're going from the big picture view right down to the microscopic control center of the whole operation.
To really get how powerful the kidneys are, you've got to wrap your head around the scale here. Inside each one of your kidneys, there are about 1 million of these tiny, intricate filtering units called nephrons. That's 2 million in total, all working together. It's just an incredible piece of biological engineering. And these little nephrons, they do so much more than just filter. They are responsible for a whole list of critical jobs. Sure, they pull out toxic wastes like urea, but they also fine-tune your body's levels of electrolytes like sodium and potassium. They keep your body's pH perfectly balanced, and they even produce hormones that control your blood pressure and tell your body to make more red blood cells. I mean, they're not just filters. They are the ultimate multitaskers.
So, the big question is, how do these millions of nephrons actually turn that waste-filled blood into urine? Well, it happens through a super efficient 3-step assembly line process. Let's break it down.
It all comes down to these 3 key stages: filtration, reabsorption, and secretion. A good way to think about it is like sorting your mail. First, you dump everything out of the bag. Then, you pull back all the important letters you need to keep. And finally, you toss any last bits of junk mail into the recycling bin. Every single nephron does this constantly.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. First up is filtration. This happens in a tiny ball of capillaries called the glomerulus, where high pressure literally squeezes water, waste, salts, all the small stuff out of the blood. But wait, we can't lose all that good stuff. That's why step 2, reabsorption, is so important. As the fluid travels through these little tubes, the body carefully reclaims everything it needs. Finally, there's secretion. This is like a last-minute quality control check where any leftover waste products get actively booted into the fluid before it's officially called urine. And here is the final product of that whole amazing process. As you can see, urine isn't just some super concentrated sludge of waste. It's actually about 95% water. That other 5% is where all those dissolved wastes, like urea and extra salts, are carried away, helping to keep that perfect internal balance we've been talking about. Okay, so we've successfully made urine in the kidneys. Now what? Let's follow it on its final journey through the rest of the system. We're talking transport, storage, and finally, elimination. To get the urine from the kidneys down into the bladder, the ureters use this really cool process called peristalsis. It's basically these rhythmic, wave-like muscle contractions that actively push the urine along. This ensures it gets to the bladder no matter what position your body is in, even if you're standing on your head. Now, when we get to the final exit point, the urethra,
There's a pretty big anatomical difference between males and females. The female urethra is much shorter, only about 4 centimeters long, and its one and only job is urination. The male urethra, on the other hand, is a lot longer, around 20 centimeters, and it serves a dual purpose for both urine and semen. And you know, this isn't just a random anatomical fact. It has a real-world health implication. Because the female urethra is so much shorter, it's an easier pathway for bacteria from the outside to travel up into the bladder. And that's exactly why women are, unfortunately, much more likely to get urinary tract infections or UTIs.
Of course, just like any complex piece of machinery, things can sometimes go wrong. So, let's take a quick look at some of the common problems that can disrupt the smooth operation of this incredible purification plant. We just mentioned UTIs. Another common one is kidney stones. These are hard, painful mineral deposits that can form inside the kidneys. Then there are more serious conditions like chronic kidney disease, which is a gradual loss of kidney function over time, and urinary incontinence, which is the loss of voluntary control over the bladder. All of these just go to show how crucial it is for this system to be working properly.
And this really just brings it all home. There's a quote from our source material that puts it perfectly. A healthy urinary system is therefore fundamental to overall well-being. It's not just about getting rid of waste. It's about maintaining that delicate, intricate balance that keeps your entire body running smoothly. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a thought. This incredible silent system is working around the clock for you, maintaining your body's delicate balance without you even thinking about it. Now that you know just how vital it is, the question isn't just how it works, but what can you do to help protect it?